Hey Cougar family, I'm Wade Williams, new middle school principal here at RCS, and I just wanted to take a minute and tell you how excited I am to join the hunt as a member of the Cougar family. We're going to be doing our online orientation in this video. You guys are going to get lots of information about the back to school process. We're going to be releasing a video a little bit later that has to do with what a typical day in the life of your student is going to look like as we begin the school year here at RCS. Just a quick reminder that new students will come on August 24th for the first day. There'll be a little bit of a new student orientation that day. All students will come to RCS on August the 25th. That's Tuesday, August the 25th, where we will really kick off our first official day of school for everyone. Our theme at RCS this year is God is Greater. As you can see from the shirt that I'm wearing, Dr. Eshelman has chosen this theme for all the schools here at RCS, and I couldn't think of a more appropriate theme for this year and this time that we're going through right now. It's a great reminder of the fact that we serve a God who is incredible and He is big. Not only is He bigger than me and bigger than you, He's bigger than all of the circumstances that we're facing right now. And I'm confident that with trusting in God, relying on Him being bigger and greater than anything that we can face, we can have a great and successful school year this year. The first thing I want to spend a little bit of time talking about is just my philosophy for middle school education, and especially Christian middle school education. There are a couple of things that come to mind for me when it comes to education. There's a quote by Dr. James Comer that has always stuck with me for my entire career in education, and that is that no significant learning takes place without a significant relationship. And I think that's especially true whenever we talk about middle school students. We can all look back in our own lives and think of those people who taught us so many different things, whether it be inside or outside of school. And almost every time we have a significant figure in our life who taught us significant things, there was along with that, coupled together, a significant relationship. So one of the things you'll hear me talk about here at the middle school is the importance of relationships with students. They will continue to be primary because the learning environment hinges on great relationships. A second thing that I often think about is a quote by Tim Kimmel. He's the author of Grace-Based Parenting, a book that I would commend to you if you have not had the opportunity to read it. But he says that it's the job of Christian parents to connect to the heart of their child in such a way that it makes it easy for the child to ultimately connect to the heart of God. That there's this connection between parental and authority figures in a child's life and connecting to that child's heart that creates this very natural conduit for the child to then be able to connect to the heart of God. Those two ideas to me are central. We want to make sure that we're building relationships with students so that they can learn, but not simply so that they can learn, but so that those relationships can become conduits for your child to ultimately connect to God's heart. You'll hear me talk again and again and again about academic excellence, which is something that I care very much about. You'll also hear me talk about loving and obeying God. Those are things that are going to be joined together as we start on this journey here at Resurrection Christian Middle School. The aim of what we're doing here at the middle school will be to produce students who are academically at and above grade level across the board in every subject area, but who simultaneously love God and obey His commands. Those things to me are at the center of what I want to see for our students, and that's each and every student who walks through our door every single day. That being said, I'm going to give you guys a few general updates as we look forward to moving into this school year. I'm sure you're well aware that this school year is going to look very different than school years have in the past, but we have a lot of things in place and several updates to give you so that you can know what's happening, so that your child can stay safe while they're at school, and also how you can stay connected as a parent at Resurrection Christian. One of the things that we're going to use this year at school will be a familiar topic, and that is DINs. Our DINs stand for Direct Engagement and Nurturing of Students. They're an opportunity for students to engage with one another, but also a teacher in a small group setting. So DINs are going to be a very important part of the way that your child is connected in a community here at school. In our DINs, students will participate in chapel together. They'll also have small group discussions post-chapel in order for them to go deeper into the message that was delivered on that day. All in all, DINs are going to be the real place for your kids to connect and feel like they belong here at the school. Every DIN will be led by a teacher, and those teachers will be responsible for making sure that they're shepherding and caring for the kids that are in their DIN. A few other things I want to give you updates on are our online platforms. This year, we're going to continue to use Renweb, that I know many of you are familiar with. So if you need information about Renweb and how to use Renweb, you can find some helpful links in the video description below. Also, we're going to be using an online platform called Canvas. Canvas is going to be our one-stop shop for everything when it comes to online learning. Teachers will be able to post lessons, materials, videos, all kinds of things in Canvas. They'll even be able to communicate with you, the parents, through our Canvas platform. Again, information about Canvas and how to use it can be found in the video description below. It can also be found in the bullet points of the email that you will receive with this same information. Canvas, again, is going to be the one spot where your kids know they can go to keep up with assignments and make sure that they are on top of everything in their classes. If for some unforeseeable reason we end up having to shift back to online learning, Canvas will continue to be the place where kids can go and get all of their materials. We're going to utilize Canvas in the classroom this year, and you'll be able to utilize it at home. And that ability for us to work back and forth with Canvas, both in the classroom and at home, is what's going to make it a vital tool this year as we navigate learning in seat, and then also, if we have to, online. So we've had a chance to talk about DINS and Canvas. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what to do with some general school functions and what's happening with some general scheduling here at the school. One of the things that I want to talk about is what to do if your child forgets their lunch. Lunches must be ordered online through the cafe the night before your student is going to receive that lunch. With all of the restrictive guidelines and changes in policies and procedures, the cafe is no longer going to be able to fill orders that were placed the morning of. So, if your child forgets their lunch, there will be a bin in the breezeway where you can come and drop your student's lunch off. Again, as noted in Dr. Eshelman's video on August the 12th, parents will not be allowed to enter the building. So, you'll be able to drop your student's lunch in the breezeway, buzz the front office and let us know that you've delivered a lunch for your student. We'll be happy to get that lunch and get it to your student so that they do not have to go without food for the day. Another important update and a change that comes for this year is fall sports. Obviously, as many of you have been keeping up with the news, fall sports for the middle school have been moved to the spring. We are going to make some adjustments to the schedule when it comes to 8th grade and electives. Those electives will still be offered, but they will look a little bit different. For example, football will still meet, but instead of being able to practice and scrimmage as a football team, students are going to work on individual skills and drills while also learning some theory and strategy about the game of football. The same will be true for every other fall sport that your child is signed up for. There will be some elective to take its place, and then we will come back around to fall sports again in the springtime. Because the fall sports have been moved to the spring, there will be no fee for those athletics in the fall. So when we get to the spring, if your child is going to participate in one of those sports, the activities fee for that sport will kick in then, but you will not be responsible for paying that in the fall since there will not be any actual competition in the fall. One other change I do want to make you aware of is our dismissal time. In order for us to maintain safe social distancing while dismissing at the same time as the high school, we were a little bit concerned. So we've partnered with the high school to change dismissal times to ensure that there's a 10-minute gap between middle school dismissal and high school dismissal that allows us to dismiss students safely while also maintaining social distancing requirements. So the middle school will actually begin dismissal this year at 3:25. The schedule change and updated bell schedules will come out in the future, but I did want to go ahead and make you aware of that small change as you're getting ready to plan all of the logistics for your day as a family and pick up and drop off. We know that those times are important, so we want to make sure that you have that information ahead of time so that you can plan accordingly. Also, this year, middle school pickup will occur exclusively in the west parking lot. You're more than welcome to park and wait in the lot for your student to come out, hop in the car, and then make your way safely out of the parking lot and back to your home. The last thing I want to make you aware of is PARCS. If you don't know what PARCS is, it's Parents at RCS. It's an organization that's led by you, the parents, here at Resurrection Christian School. It's a great opportunity for you to connect with other people from the school, for you to learn about opportunities to volunteer at the school, and to get some general correspondence about things going on here at the school. In the past, PARCS has done a fantastic job building community around Resurrection Christian School. They've done everything from organizing fundraisers to lock-ins and helping volunteers come up to the school at different times as we have had different needs arise. I would highly encourage every parent that is not already involved in PARCS to please sign up. For more information on PARCS, email parcs@rcschool.org. That's PARCS at rcschool.org. Again, I want to remind you to go and take a look at the video that we've released that has to do with what a general school day will look like for your student. It'll give you a lot of insight as to what's going on at the school here each and every day. It's also a great video for you to watch with your kids so that they can know what to expect in the upcoming school year. The upcoming school year is obviously going to have a lot of twists and turns, but I couldn't be more excited about taking on the challenge with the family here at Resurrection Christian School. I'm finished giving some updates, but I'm going to toss it over to our fearless Dean of Students for the middle school, Miss Michelle Graff. She's going to give you guys a few more general updates and specifically some updates that have to do with scheduling and dress code. Again, I'm looking forward to a great school year and can't wait to see you guys on August 24th for new students, August 25th for all students here at Resurrection Christian Middle School.
Hi, I'm Michelle Graff. I'm the Dean of Students for RCS Middle School, and we are so excited to have you guys back. We can't wait to see you in the building with your awesome masks on. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about some PE uniforms. We had originally said that we were not going to be able to dress out, but we have gotten approval from the county to use our PE locker rooms because we're able to adequately space the students out. And so students will be using their PE uniforms to dress out. For new families, your student will be issued a PE uniform on the first day that they have PE, and your fax account will be billed the $30. Returning students, you should have your uniforms. If you need to get new uniforms, you'll just let Mrs. Miller know on the first day of PE, and then again, parents will be billed through their fax. Schedules. We had some questions about outdoor education, and that is happening. Mr. Anderson is working on an awesome plan for you guys to do some really cool stuff here on campus. Sports have been modified, so no fees will be charged to parents' accounts for sports that they've signed up for this fall. If you compete in the spring section of those sports, you will be charged at that time. Our cooking elective has also been modified to accommodate all of the regulations from the county. We have cohorted students to the best of our abilities, especially in middle school. It makes it a little hard because they have lots of different choices. So 6th grade and 8th grade specifically will be cohorted for the majority of the day. 7th grade, we had to move things around, and so they'll be cohorted for about half the day, and then into smaller cohorts after that. We are not allowed to use regular lockers in the hallways, so students will need to carry their supplies in their backpacks. We're recommending that you just bring the supplies that you absolutely need for school that day, so you're not having to carry a heavy backpack all day. You can bring a regular size backpack for all my returning students. I know that's a question you had. Your phones will need to stay in your backpacks on silent throughout the day. Passing periods will be a lot different this year, so I don't know that you'll necessarily have an opportunity for that, and we're still working on phones at lunchtime and what that might look like. Parents, the playground that is normally open on the west side of the school after school is closed and off limits to our students and their siblings. It's just a restriction that the county's placed on us, and so you'll need to make sure that your students are picked up directly after school. We used to be able to offer before and after school care as well, and due to the county regulations, we won't be able to offer that here on campus. There are some opportunities to carpool, however, so if you have a job where you are not able to pick your kid up or get them to school at the regular times, there is an RCS community Facebook page. So please, I encourage you to go on there and join, and you can post your request and and get hopefully some other folks that live in your area and are able to help you carpool. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is dress code. So for our returning students, our dress code has changed a little bit. I think most of you know about it, but I just want to touch on it really quickly. Our girls are not allowed to wear athletic pants or leggings, yoga pants, if you will, to school any longer. And dresses and skirts need to touch the tops of their kneecaps when they're standing. Our shorts are still at mid-thigh. No athletic shorts, no running shorts or volleyball shorts are allowed. No spaghetti straps, and our sides and our back and our tummies are covered at all times. And if you have any further questions about the dress code, you can go on the website, and it is in the Parent-Student Handbook on page 23, and it has been updated. We cannot wait to see you guys, and we are super excited to have you back.